Welcome back to Mercury Farms for episode 4, a special episode with me, MrSealyp. It's 10:33, it's day 2, it's Sunday. Today's an important day, you've probably already seen from the thumbnail. It's Armistice Day, it's Remembrance Sunday, and this year it actually falls on the same day as Armistice Day. Normally Armistice Day is the 11th day of the 11th month. When the armistice of World War I, the end of World War I, 1918, was signed, effectively ending the war. And normally it will happen on a particular day, on the 11th, and then the next available, or the closest available Sunday would be Remembrance Sunday. Well, they both fall together today, and this is very important to me. I'm going to explain why. Bear with me, the farming will come in a minute. There's a couple of things I want to talk about. A couple of my kids work in a local pub. And they were told they're not allowed to wear poppies because the pub is not allowed to put across their political views. That annoyed me, really irritated me. Remembrance Sunday, Armistice Day, is not about politics. It's not about politicians using it for gain or not gain or whatever. It's not about point scoring. It's about remembrance. It's about respect, and it's about showing respect. It's about showing thanks and gratitude. It always used to be in the UK with the poppy appeal, the red poppy symbolising Remembrance Sunday, that you're remembering those that gave their lives during conflict. It was always about World War I and obviously World War II and subsequent conflicts. It's not just about those that have lost their lives. It's about those that sacrificed. It's about those that have come back wounded, injured, maimed, scarred psychologically, mentally. People that in the old days suffered from shell shock, which we now call PTSD. People that have served, people that have stood up and said, I will make a difference. Governments don't come into it. I'm not interested in governments, not bothered about that. Governments should make the right decision to send soldiers, to send armed forces into conflict when needed. Rightly or wrongly, when they do it, how they do it, I'm not interested in that. I'm not pro-war, I'm not anti-war, and it's not about being pro-war, if there's such a thing, and anti-war. It's about respect. It's about saying thank you. Our world would be a very different place without the sacrifice of those people. Now, it's important to me for a couple of reasons. A young lad that I used to know a while back, because I was a cadet with the Air Training Corps, I was an instructor with the Air Training Corps, and a lot of the guys that come through the Air Training Corps go off and do military service. There's a few guys at the moment. One of the guys I kind of taught is now is number one, the squadron leader for the Red Arrows, the UK Aerobatic Display Team. There have been guys that have gone off and they've done air traffic control, they've joined the Royal Marines, they've joined the Army, you name it, there's all different branches. One guy went off, joined the Navy, and was in a Navy promotional video recently, which is amazing to see. But one guy in particular stood out, ended up being a captain in the Royal Artillery, and then did commando training, and he was killed in Helmand in Afghanistan. Then I was doing some research into my family history, and in doing some research I found out that my great-great-uncle, bizarrely enough, going through the family tree, was a machine gunner in World War I. In the machine gun corps, they got themselves a nickname, the Suicide Club, because they went forward in front of the front lines, and they had a very, very high attrition rate. He was 19 years old, and he was killed in April 1918 in a German offensive called Georgette. So every year when we do Remembrance Sunday, and we often go to the services, I'll always put a cross down. One for Tom, the guy that was killed in Helmand, and for Charles Stanley Seal. So it's important to me, it's a big thing. So I wanted to do this, I wanted to do this tribute. Any of you out there that have served, any of you out there that have lost, any of you out there that haven't, but don't really know a lot about it, A lot of people that stand up and say, I don't believe in it, I won't do it, I'm not wearing a poppy, I don't think it's right, I don't believe in war. It's got nothing to do with that. It's about respect. The world would be very, very different. Especially in the UK. I know for a fact if we'd have lost World War II, it'd be a very different world we'd be living in now. So today, just give thanks. What I'm going to do is skip forward a minute, well, not more than a minute, to 11 o'clock. Armistice was signed at 11 o'clock, 11 AM on the 11th day, the 11th month. I'm going to do a minute silence. You don't have to do a minute silence. If you really feel that against it, if you really feel that opposed to it, you can skip ahead to the farming bit. That's entirely up to you. So what I'm going to do in a second, we'll jump to just before 11 and I'm going to do a minute silence. Then we'll get on with the farming. Thank you for sticking with me on this bit. I know it sounds a bit weird, but it's important. It's important that we don't forget, because a lot of those guys, especially World War I, World War II, aren't alive anymore. And every year that goes by, more and more of them die. It's up to us to remember. Thank you for bearing with me. What I'm also going to do, and this was part of the, what do you want to call it? There was a pack of stuff that came out with Mapper's Paradise, and it was in aid of Médecins Sans Frontières. A little while back, it was a charity thing. As part of that, there was a monument, the Mary Bourne Monument. It's called Watercut. I've just realised I haven't installed it. Doesn't matter. I'm going to place it up on the hill here. I'm going to place a monument just up on the hill. I think that's important. Something else I'm going to do, or something else I've done. This year's an important one because it's 2018. It's 100 years since the end of World War I. That's incredible. You can't get your head around that. So, let's just jump in here. I'm going to show you something I've done. Little tribute. Let's zoom out, shall we? It's not the neatest you'll ever see. And I did think about trying to do canola or sunflower, so it was yellow and standing out. Unfortunately, I've got nothing that's poppies. I can't do a lot about that. There you go. Little thank you from me. And now on with the show. So for those of you that were watching thinking, why are we putting up with this? I don't want to rant. I really don't want to. The fact that you have the ability to voice your opinions, you're allowed to voice your opinions, that you're allowed freedom of speech, that you can do all of these things is because of other people. The fact you can come on here and you can say something's rubbish, you don't like it, you can be rude and abusive, or you can be great and fantastic and pleasant and thankful, is because of people's sacrifice. So, farming, let's get on with it. Let's lighten the mood somewhat. Now, we're back at the main farm, and thanks to Wombleway, I suddenly had a thought. Well, I didn't have a thought. He had a thought and he told me. I said I'd blocked in the end of this. And he said, well, why don't you just remove the hedge? It's like, oh yeah. Why didn't I think of that? Now, I have been busy. Off screen. You've noticed the money's gone down quite a bit actually. Turn it off. So now we can access the end if we want to. The money's gone down a fair old bit, and there's a reason. Just swing around. Because I said I was doing dairy, and because I'm conscious of the fact I need plenty of grass, hay and straw. The grass and hay I can get. We've got grass all around the place. The straw was a bit more of a worry, and I bought those 2 fields in the last episode, and when I finished the episode I thought, well, I've moved the small equipment over here as well. I was really worried actually when I did the minute silence, those gunshots were going to go up. Mind you, it would have been like a 2-gun salute, wouldn't it? Or a 1-gun salute, 2 barrels. Yeah, so what I did was, when we did the work down here yesterday, and we cleared the field and I've ploughed it all around the corner, I then realised that these ones here, this one here's got, I think it was wheat. Was it wheat or was it barley? One's got one, one's got another. Fruit types. We are right by field 12. Field 12's got wheat in. Field 13's got barley in. So I thought, you know what, I'll buy both of those. So I bought both of those. What I also did, field 10, I ploughed and I took out the hedge that was here. So what I'm thinking of doing, when all is said and done, when I've harvested this and I've harvested the barley, is making a kind of really oddly shaped uber field. And this will be planted with wheat or barley, so that we'll always have a constant supply if we need it, if we run out. I don't know if we will run out, but I want to do some farm work, I want to do some field work and stuff like that. So this one's barley this side. So what we'll do as well, at some point we'll come in and we'll take this hedge out in the middle, and then, like, looking back at the map again, we'll zoom in. There's this line here between the two. If I take that out, take the hedge out and join the two, we'll have this bit here, 13, 12, 17, 18 and 10. Now what I might do is have 10, 13 and 12 as one field, 17 and 18 as a field, because if we go to growth you'll see where I've combined those two. I don't really want to take the tracks out because that track comes from the main road up to the farm, and if I go across that and join all that together, so we'll have a bigger field there and a biggish field there. I'm going to put wheat in all those, they'll be close to the farm. What I've also done is, no, not that one, is one of the fields we bought, field 43. I have harvested already and left the straw swath on the ground, and what I've also done is field 37, no, not 40, is it 43? No, 46. 46 I've harvested, and the straw swath's on the ground, and 37 the harvester's down there ready to start. So that will start harvesting and we'll get the straw swath off that. So that's what I've kind of done off screen. I haven't done any more fuel or water runs yet. So we're down to 231,000, which is enough to do what we need to do, I think, in today's episode. I'll get the harvester going. We are going to need either a loading wagon or a snowblower, but I think what we are definitely going to need is a bigger trailer, regardless of either of those, because if I'm going to use a snowblower to pick up the straw, the hay, the grass, whatever I'm going to be doing, we're definitely going to need something bigger. We've got enough money to do that in this episode, so that's not a problem. So what I'm going to do is, actually, is this going to be, what I might do is swap this over. We are going to need a cultivator as well. Actually, that reminds me. Cultivator. What I was going to do was, so I don't want to go too big and too mad, but because I haven't got big enough tractors, I'm going to get rid of the small cultivator we've got, and I think I'm going to get the Religieux Freres one, the 6 metre. We can get a Liborto used or new. You know what, let's go with new. Why not? Because at the end of the day, we've got the money. That still requires 180 horsepower though, to be fair. That is 6 metres, so we'll get that. Standard or with backlight support. Let's get backlight support. Oh, is that with a... Yeah, let's get that. So, we've got the Religieux Freres cultivator, so the field's going to be cultivated. I do also need to get... We haven't got a muck spreader. Now I can do slurry as well if I put... down at the livestock market, I think we'll have a slurry point because that's where we get the manure from. I think we can put all of these in. Now I've used this one, the massive one I used on something, Sussex Farm, another awesome one of Jim's maps, and I'm using the Stroutman PS3401 on Lone Oak Farm at the moment. So I think I'm probably going to go with... I mean, there are actually quite a few modded ones. And we've got these as well. 24,000 litres, 19,000 litres. That one is 19,000 litres. That's a big jump up to 32. What I might do, I think, is have a look, see if there's any mods about that I haven't used before. If there's any other modded ones, we might chuck a modded one in. But for the time being, let's take this cultivator back. We're then going to whiz over to the dairy farm. We're going to get some building done. Thank you for all those of you that commented. So many of you reminded me of something which I completely forgot. We've got the farm here, which has got the building here that needs to be rebuilt and all look wonderful, which has got a silo attached, 500,000 litres. We've also got up at Hillside, Mercury Hillside over there. I think there was one that I built, I'm pretty sure there was, which is also 500,000. And at the animals, I forgot about the fact there's already a silo. So I said about placing a silo. I don't need to because of Jim's awesomeness, which is brilliant, absolutely fantastic. So yeah, not needed. Thank you for everyone that commented. Very, very helpful. I do have some incredibly helpful subscribers, some awesome guys. I have had I've said this before, I'll say it again. I've had a couple of people ask me for shout outs, and I don't want to appear rude. This has kind of been a policy of mine, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it, and it probably comes across as a bit arrogant, but it's just been the way I've always done stuff. I often give shout outs, and you'll hear me say loads of different people. Generally speaking, there's a... I've been playing the game for a long time, and despite the fact people watching my videos and thinking I'm a noob, a lot of the times I do know what I'm doing, even if I make it look like I don't, even if I make mistakes. But like I said, everyone makes mistakes, and sometimes people will send me messages and they'll comment and they'll say, oh, did you know you could do this, did you know you could do that? And sometimes I'll just message back and say yes, or I'll come back with a thumbs up or something like that. Genuinely though, if people comment and say, oh, did you know, and they tell me something I had no idea, didn't know at all, I will often give them a shout out. If people come up with great ideas when I'm doing subscriber contracts, of course people get shout outs. That's, you know, people put the subscriber contracts in because they want to see it in the gameplay. It's nice to get a shout out, a bit of thanks for what you've done. I don't just do shout outs because someone said, can I have a shout out? There needs to be something, you know, you get something for giving something kind of thing. It may sound a bit weird and a bit kind of tacky, but otherwise I just get inundated with people saying, can I have a shout out? Then I've got a list of 20 names, 30 names, 40 names of people saying, can I have a shout out? And then I just spend however long in an episode just reading out names. So yeah, that's how it works, kind of. I'm sorry if that offends people or upsets people, but it is what it is. So we'll have a look at the muck spreader situation at some point. I might get a larger seeder as well. Nothing, again, nothing massive, nothing. Just going to go under here. I have to drop it down a bit. That's better. And drop off. So I'm thinking, I know it's dangerous, I try not to do it very often. Can I get through to the animals this way? Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the I'll leave that there. I'm going to take this bad boy. Now this has got a lot of engine hours on it. This is what was someone mentioned this because it needed a lot of fuel, and Jim does this. He did it with the Hurleyman in Sussex, and it was quite cool. I don't often, I say don't often, never, I never ever come onto this screen that tells you about your vehicles, how many days you've had it and all. If you go all the way down there and you get to the Case IH Optum CVX, 29 days old. Now to be fair, the combine harvesters are always pretty heavy on the overnight fees, your kind of maintenance costs and that kind of stuff. But that's 928 on its own. It's in the red, and if I sell it, I'm not going to get a huge amount for it, but I am going to need to at some point, I think, because that's costing me a bomb. So yeah, that's the other thing I kept forgetting. And again, another one of these kind of, when 19 comes out, it's going to be amazing that the vehicles are actually going to be showing wear and tear. As I recall, again, there's all these things I've been reading, and I do wake up some days thinking, did I dream that bit, or was that bit... No, I think I've gone too early, haven't I? Yeah. Did I dream that bit, or did that actually happen? It's terrible, isn't it? Now, the case harvester's only got a very narrow header, and I could put a wider header on it. Now, as it stands at the moment, because I'm doing other jobs at the same time, I can leave that harvester plodding away. On some of the fields, I've done a couple of edges, done a couple of end rows, simply because it struggles to turn around sometimes. But it doesn't matter, it can chug away in the background. I'm not in any particular hurry to get any harvest done fast or anything like that, so it can just chug away. It will do the field over here. Just see it glistening away in the sunlight. So I'll drop off the trailer. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to get a bigger trailer, wasn't I? That's going to be more for picking up the wheat and stuff. I don't think the yields off these fields are going to be particularly massive. The one over there, I've got to remember these field numbers. It's terrible. Field 46. I got just under 21,000 litres, which was lucky because that's the capacity of this. Field 37 is a little bit bigger, so we may well end up with more. I don't know. So what I'm going to do is just drop this off here for a moment. I'm going to set the harvester off with a worker. Like I say, narrow header means very narrow strips. The windrows, each one's not going to, or the swath's not going to have a huge amount in it. So the other option I thought was, well, I could get a windrower, get a big old wide windrower, because I don't use the wide ones very often. And what I'll often do is have a big wide header, so I don't need to windrow them. I might windrow these actually, bring them all into sort of a fewer amount, but more in them kind of thing. I mean, that's obvious. I'm talking like people don't know what I'm on about. Right. Where to? We need the... the animals. Oh, okay, straight along from where we are. I thought I had to go further up the field and up the map. No, straight along here. Fantastic. There we go, there it is. Yeah, the silo. Now, that's what I was saying. So the silo up here, I wasn't sure as well whether or not we get a bunker silo, and I've been reliably informed that we do, which is fantastic, which means we can get silage on the go as well, which means I won't need to do bales. I'm not going to do any. Now, the cool thing as well is, unlike most maps where the silos are kind of a combined effort kind of thing, apparently each of these silos holds 500,000 litres. So we've actually got a Mercury Farms total of 1,500,000 litres. That's our total capacity. That's incredible. That's just, wow, amazing. So the good thing about that is, if I bring all my swaths over here and fill this one up, I can then stick some at the main farm if I want to, and then I've got plenty on hand. I haven't got to worry. So yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. Now I just need to check the map again, simply because I want the cows, not the sheep or the pigs. The cows are the back lot over here, aren't they? Now this will put a barn in here, I think, but I don't know if I want a shelter. I think I might put my own one in again. Might go with something a bit different there. So here, let's get the coos. Nice. Right, so that's Now I think I was told, I'm assuming it's in the middle, yeah, there you go. When I did my first look, I did each of the animals and I kind of went round the outside. I did the barn over there, I looked at the water fountain and didn't come back to the middle. So in my head I'm thinking, where is it? So that one is for doing the sheep and that one's for doing the pigs, which I'm not going to do. Now the cool thing about that is, it means I can use all the grass here if I want to. And up through there. This is all kind of available now. This is just a big old area, but I could, if I wanted to, I could plough all that out and have that as grass as well, if I wanted to have grass close. And again, that's the beauty of what Jim's doing here. This will get as much in as we possibly can, so we've got a load of silage. So I'd say for the next few episodes we're going to get a few bits and bobs in, while still continuing on Lone Oak. And I do still need to get my special. I know I keep saying it. This week's going to be a busy week. What I want to try to do this week is get those top 5 videos out. I've got my kind of a farewell to FS17 in a way. Get that video done. But anyway, I don't want to put anything in here until I've got the resources for them, because that would just be unfair on the animals. So the straw gets put in there. Straw I can do some bedding to start off with, but obviously not enough of it. Does that one open at the back there? Oh, it does. So we can go out into the field. I don't know why we would go into the field, but we can if we want to. Exciting times. And this one to the side is... oh, very fancy. It's going to be interesting to see with FS19 with the milk. That's going to... I'm really looking forward to that whole kind of concept. So next up then, do I windrow? Do I get a loading wagon? Do I just get a bigger trailer? And I think I'm going to get a bigger trailer and the snowblower. You know, I know it's not the sort of the done thing. How much are the windrowers? Could use the Merge Max, quite expensive, but then I suppose I could do a fuel run, that would pay for that. But as far as mowers go, mowing and windrowing, because I'm going to need to do some mowing too, but that may be the next episode. I'm just trying to think. I might get the hibiscus actually. Do I need to buy it though? That's the thing. 62 grand. Yeah, let's buy it. Let's get it. Why not? Probably need another tractor at some point too. So I think very, very quickly I'm going to start running out. Plus I'm taking these over place. What I am going to do is grab this trailer and I'm going to empty this out on the next run down, simply so I can leave him for a little while. Then we'll go and we'll grab the Valtra, we'll bring that over to field 40 something, 46, yep, which is actually over near the shop anyway. And then what I'll probably do, again, I didn't do any off screen between episodes this time, but I'll probably do a time lapse or something of me delivering some fuel and water and whatever, just to show again. I want it to be completely transparent. I don't want people to suddenly think, oh, he's just adding money in. I am genuinely doing the deliveries, I promise. Not this is going to have a huge amount in it yet, but just means I can leave it for a little bit and not worry too much. There's a couple of people I do want to give a shout out to off the back of, not they're going to watch the video, they do subscribe, they do follow me, but I don't know if they will. And that's David and Gillian. David served in the army and is my wife's cousin. We didn't see them for a long time, we kind of got back in touch in recent years. He was in the army, did tours in Iraq. I think he became a PT instructor as well towards the end of his time in the army. left the army and became a police officer. He was a policeman. So hats off to him. I mean, just, you know, like I say, these guys, they do it. And Gillian, who serves in the Royal Air Force, and she's a mover, loading and unloading of aircraft, logistics, that kind of stuff. She's travelled the world. She's done tours in Iraq and Afghanistan and all sorts of stuff. And I know there are millions of other people around the world that do these different jobs, that do these things, but these are the people that I know personally. Squadron Leader Pert, Red Arrows, hats off to him. What a great guy. I knew him when he was a kid, you know, a young kid, wanted to go off and get an RF, got a flying scholarship, did it, went off, got a flying scholarship with the Royal Air Force, became a pilot. He flew, he's flown Hawks, then Harrier jump jets. He went on to Harriers. He's done tours all over the place. He then became the aerobatics single display pilot in Hawks, then moved on to the Red Arrows. He flew a season or a couple of seasons, one as Red 4 I think, then Red 8 and then Red 4, then left. Then he's come back and he's the head honch. He's Red 1. It's amazing, you know. It blows my mind, all these guys that I know that have gone off and they've done it, you know. It's wow. So yeah, I know I said it already in the episode and I don't want to get all heavy about it, but it's that day. It's an important day, you know. If you're watching this episode and it's, you know, it's not today, it's not the 11th, it's not Remembrance Sunday, it won't have the same relevance or bearing, but you know, it's important we remember. Right, let's go and get this tractor. Right. Lots of backwards and forwards. Although that said, when we pick up the windrower, that's going to be right down here, right near the field. So as long as we can find our way in, I think what I might need to do for the first sort of few episodes on here is whatever vehicle I'm using, have a ray board on the front of it. So if I get to a point where I can't find a field entry, just make myself one. Just cut a couple of fence posts down or a bit of hedge and make myself a way into a field, to avoid driving around the countryside. It's one of these fields, or is it past? Oh, it might be between the store and the BGA. That's where it is. I'm really pleased there's a bunker silo up at the main animal area. And again, thank you for the guys that pointed that out. There were quite a few of you actually yesterday. I know I throw these things out there saying, oh, I'm not too sure. And it's nice that people go, oh, I'm going to tell him, I'm going to let him know. Let's make sure he knows. So, next on the shopping list then, what do we want? Obviously we are depleting our funds rather rapidly. We want a larger trailer. I'm not going to go mad, nothing that I need a semi for yet or anything like that. But I'm thinking, we haven't used that for a while, have we? It's 47,000 litres. That is specifically designed for, mind you, it will take it, but then that's mainly for all your forage products. And I want to make an use for everything really. That I'm going to need a semi for, and then we're on to the really big stuff, which, yeah, I'm thinking, let's go with 45, 47. I know there's a lot of modded ones out and I've used various different modded ones. Let's go with that. I think the Joskin Drakkar 8600, 8600. It's difficult because I know in the UK I would say 8600, but I know in the US, and this is a generalisation again, I know there'll be people who say, oh no, I definitely say 8600. Oh no, what else do I need? Snowblower. Let's get the snowblower and speed this whole process up. That's in miscellaneous? It is. Oh, colour. It's a big decision again, isn't it? What do we go with this time? I've used all different ones. You know what, I'm going to go for red. Let's go with poppy red. It's actually a deeper red, isn't it? Poppy red. What should I go with? We'll go with red. Work light. Yes. Let's buy that. Fantastic. Right, so we'll come back for those in a bit. So don't need those at the moment. That's nice. Okay. Let's get to this field and get some of this windrow. Before this Let's Play ends, I've got a week, and then, well, a week and 2 days, technically. A week and 2 days, I'm going to have a load of cows. We are going to make a load of money. I know, it's that kind of, well, you can make a load of money just buying and selling. The buying and selling of water and fuel is a means to an end. That's to get me the finances and the money to build the farm. Yes, I could just come on here and I could spend hours and hours and hours just doing that and have millions of pounds sit there and say, well, what's the point? The point about it is, it's not about the money. Yes, we need the farm to make a profit. We want to make money, but it's about the farming. That's why I play the game. I don't play the game to make money. That, again, that's a kind of, it's a byproduct, and it's how we measure stuff, isn't it? It's how we say to ourselves, have I been successful? Is, well, how much money did I make? You know what I really miss from Farming Simulator 17 was the big, you remember the Krone Swadro? Was that a 4 or a 6 disc windrower? And it was really wide. I mean, stupidly wide. It was brilliant. Right, I'm just going to take this bit off the end. Just take these little bits off first. I know it's not making a huge amount of difference to that, but just gives me a bit of space to raise and lower it when I do the windrows the other way. Now, what I often do is stop the windrower. Now I get it, you can lift it, but what I've often found is if you are on slightly undulating ground, raising it as you turn, if they're still spinning, they can still windrow things. So I'll often turn them off rather than lift them. That's just a personal preference. So watch that, and if I can keep this right, this will pick up 4 of the narrow rows and put them into one lovely big neat one in the background. Like I say, if I use anything that produces a windrow, if you use the Krone Big M or anything really, there's lots of different mowers out there that do it, often you find yourself not needing to do this. Oh, I missed a little bit, but I can come in there, because they automatically leave a swath behind. So I haven't, I'm trying to think the last time I did windrowing. Yeah, a while ago. Actually, see if I can catch some of that in this. Might be able to, might not. Let's try and catch that in there. We've left a tiny bit. Let's bring this one over a little bit, I think. Get more in this one. Yeah, so, anyway. Back to the farming stuff. Now we are building this farm quite rapidly. And like I said in my first couple of episodes, because we don't have long for this Let's Play, this kind of has become a well, there's an analogy to this. I watched is it Eddie Izzard? Yeah, I love him, very very funny comedian. Oh, I should have taken him 4, shouldn't I? Oh, it doesn't matter. And there's a series in the UK, I don't know if you get it anywhere else in the world, called Time Team, and these guys go out and they're archaeologists, they're all professional guys, and the programme's hosted by a guy called Tony Robinson, who over the years the series has run, has become really interested in the stuff himself, and they go out and they do like archaeological digs, and it can be quite painstakingly slow at times, and every now and again they'll get a big excavator in to dig trenches and test holes and test pits and that kind of stuff. And Eddie Izzard did this whole thing about speed archaeology, where you just go out and you try and find as much archaeology as you can as quickly as you can. And it just made me think of that. We're doing speed farming. It's that kind of, let's build the farm quickly, let's try and get as much done as we can, let's try and get all this done before we run out of time on the Let's Play. And it just, I don't know, it just tickled me. It just made me think, yeah, speed archaeology, speed farming, it's that. Sorry, I'm waffling again. It's just, these things pop into my head. It's better that I get them out there, say them out loud, lest they eat away at my mind. Oh, I was going to say, actually, I was talking about Jim earlier. See, nothing just popping into my head. I said about the genius of Jim and all those kind of things, and I said earlier about the silos and whatnot. Now, Jim sent me a message yesterday, and I urge you to do this. Please, 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 please. If you're watching this video, please do this. For me, for him. This is his map. Sussex Farm was his map. Spectacle Island, his map. The man's a genius. And he started doing a few videos. And he's got his channel, his YouTube channel, Alien Jim. He's only got about 6 videos up at the moment. He's got a stream, and he's got I think one on Mud Runner and a couple of farming ones. He's done one, it's on there as a stream, where he's done this conveyor belt setup on Spectacle Island for moving silage. I don't want to tell you any more, and I don't want to spoil it. I urge you, honestly, go over and have a look. It is the most incredible thing I've ever seen. It was brilliant. It is brilliant. Go over, you will not be disappointed. You really won't. It is great. Made me smile from ear to ear the other day when I went over and had a look. And it's really hard because I struggle with kind of enough hours in the day as it is for putting out content, family stuff, recording, editing, research, and then there's a few different YouTubers that I watch, and then there's a lot of guys that are subscribers of mine that now have their own channels, and I feel awful saying it, but much as I would love to watch everybody's videos they put up every day, I just don't have the hours, I don't have the time to do it, and I feel terrible. I try to watch them here and there. Like I say, there's your big mainstream YouTubers out there, that everyone's aware of. But there's a lot of guys in the same boat I was a year ago, 2 years ago, starting out. I still consider myself starting out. I don't consider myself a big YouTuber. But when you are just starting out, I appear to be. I get good views, and that whole giving thanks, saying thank you for what we got. I honestly can't thank you guys enough for your support, people subscribing, how lucky I've been with the channel. And there are guys out there that are putting out great content that need support, that want you to watch their videos, they want you to enjoy their content. I've said it before, and there are so many. I don't want to start mentioning names because then I'll forget somebody. I know I will. Jim started doing videos. There's DJ Goham that I watch and I've done the stream with. There's Golf Cart Jockey. There's FS Club. There's Farmer Min. Jim Bob Plays Games. There are so many out there, and if I have forgotten your name, I can only apologise, because there's so many people out there doing really, really great content. Right, what I'm going to do is move this over to the other field, then we'll come back, we'll grab that trailer, we'll grab the snowblower, and we'll start getting some of this off the field. Now, I'm incredibly conscious, thinking I've been talking quite a lot, that this episode might go on too much. So what I'm going to do, because this is the start of our cows experience, we've built the barn, the dairy side of things, we are now getting straw swath. So what I'm going to do is get straw swath off the field. So I want to finish off by getting that trailer and getting some straw swath off the field. I don't know if this is going to have the power to pull it, so I think what I might do is swap this Valtra over with the Optum. We'll start clearing some of that swath off the field as the harvester stops. Oh no, still going. So I'm going to drop that there, swap this over, and then we'll probably end this episode on getting some of that swath off the field and we'll get it into storage. And then next episode we're going to be looking at grass and probably hay, or we might do one on grass, one on hay, I'm not too sure. Like I say, we'll get some more water runs in. I need to get some manure because I need to start getting something onto the fields that I'm doing. That they all need ploughing, so I'll get the plough out. I suddenly realised as well, stupidly, I bought the jumper. Well, not stupidly, the jumper's a brilliant bit of kit. There's the Religieux Freres Weber 6M, isn't there? That 6 metre plough. Really cheap. And yeah, why did I not think of using that? Anyway, it doesn't matter. It ploughs, it's doing the job it needs to, that's the main thing. Done a lot of chat in this episode. Just imagine it's like a live stream without the immediate interaction, where I would be doing the job and just talking a lot. Well, that's me, isn't it, at the end of the day? So actually, you know what? Rather than manhandle that around, let's get this in the front first, and then we'll worry about manhandling bits of equipment. I don't know how much I'm going to get off of each of these fields, and I've probably done what I usually do, completely over the top with how many fields of each thing. Right, trailer, let's put that down at the back so the snowblower can... if you don't use these ever, they're really, really handy. Lots of trailers have them. You can raise and lower this bit up there, so that if you're using something that does blow into the back of it, like a forage harvester, or in this case the snowblower, it kind of gets in there better. I know it doesn't make any difference in game, but it's just, you know, in real life it would hit that. Otherwise, you know. You know what, the cars are a lot better on here than on various maps I've played. They don't tend to plough into as much, especially when you do something silly like I just did, swinging out wide. So let's go with pipe out. I need to open that door at the front, don't we? There's a little slot there that opens like so. Let's get it on. Biobeltz snowblower, Toxicom. I've used this setup a lot recently. I know it's not kind of orthodox in so much as you do use a loading wagon and whatnot, but it works, and it works incredibly well and incredibly quickly. So, you know, whilst it's not a loading wagon, it does exactly the same job, realistically. I've got a funny feeling we're going to fill this fairly quickly, because I think, if I remember correctly from doing studies on this on FS15, I did a few different ones. Obviously 17 has got some slightly different dynamics and whatnot. It doesn't matter what the yield of the crop is, the straw swath remains the same, so you will always get the same amount of straw swath off of it regardless of what the yield is. I'm pretty sure that's correct. Because obviously with anything really, wheat and barley and corn, and the stalks, the stems, all those kind of things will remain the same. That's the stuff that all gets chopped up and left behind. It's how many wheat kernels, grains, and how much corn that comes off of them, which is what gives you your yield. What's left behind is the stalk and stuff, which is there anyway. So anyway, I hope I'm right. I'm probably getting told I'm wrong again. I need to slow down a little bit. Not concentrating. Yeah, we're getting loads off this. Fantastic. I don't think we're going to run short at all. And what I will start doing as well, oh mind you, I've got quite, because I went and windrowed it, what I will often do is when I do these, I'll do every other row, so use the turning circle of the actual vehicle you're doing this with, and then you come back and you do then the ones that are left. But actually these are quite wide, so I should be able to turn fine. This is going to fill up in no time at all. So what will happen now is I'm going to carry on. I'm going to clear this off. What I will probably do then is get the plough in to plough this, and then we need to get some manure going, slurry, whatever it might be on the fields. I haven't quite decided what we're going to do yet. I'm going to look for a modded muck spreader and see if we can use something a bit different. And on the next one, we'll get some more farming done. let's get this going. Crack-a-lacking. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you for the start, for bearing with me. If you have enjoyed it, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.